Welcome to my channel, The World of Hidden Treasures. If you've ever wondered whether that old penny in your pocket could be worth hundreds or even thousands, you're in the right place. On this channel, we dive deep into the fascinating world of Lincoln wheat pennies, from rare dates and mint errors to valuable coins you might already own without realizing it. Whether you're a beginner just starting your coin collecting journey or a seasoned collector hunting for the next big find, we've got something for you. We'll show you what to look for, how to spot valuable coins, and the real stories behind these historic pieces. The 1954 Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark, even in circulated and scratched condition, has stunned collectors in today's auction market with jaw-dropping value. Let's take a closer look at why this seemingly modest coin has become such a big deal. The 1954 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during a time when pennies were still made primarily from copper, giving them that classic reddish-brown tone. The D mint mark indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the major coin production facilities in the United States. Millions of these coins were struck, and for decades they circulated freely, passing from hand to hand without much attention. But not all of them are created equal. What makes certain 1954 D wheat pennies so incredibly valuable comes down to a combination of rarity, condition, and most importantly, unique errors or characteristics that set them apart from standard coins. While most circulated coins with scratches and wear would typically be worth only a few cents or maybe a couple of dollars to a casual collector, there are rare variations that completely defy expectations. In some cases, these coins feature what collectors call die errors. This could include doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or subtle design anomalies that occurred during the minting process. These errors are not always obvious to the untrained eye, especially on a coin that has been in circulation and shows signs of wear. But to experienced collectors, these imperfections are exactly what make a coin special. Now, you might be wondering, how can a scratched, circulated coin reach a value of $130,000? The answer lies in rarity combined with demand. If a specific error or variation is extremely scarce, and only a handful of examples are known to exist, collectors will compete fiercely to own one. Auctions become battlegrounds where prices climb rapidly, sometimes far beyond initial estimates. In today's auction market, the value of coins is driven not just by their physical condition, but by their story. A circulated coin tells a history. Every scratch, every worn detail reflects years of use, possibly passing through countless hands, businesses, and transactions. When that history is paired with a rare minting anomaly, the coin becomes more than currency. It becomes a collectible artifact. The $130,000 valuation is not something every 1954 D wheat penny will achieve. In fact, the vast majority are still only worth a small premium over their copper content. But specific examples that exhibit rare characteristics, even in fine or scratched condition, can command extraordinary prices. This is why coin collectors often emphasize the importance of closely inspecting even the most ordinary-looking coins. Another factor contributing to such high value is authentication and grading. Professional grading services carefully examine coins to verify their authenticity and assign a condition grade. Even a circulated coin can receive significant attention if it is confirmed to be genuine and possesses unique features. Collectors rely heavily on these certifications when participating in high-value auctions. The coin market today is more active than ever, with online platforms and global auctions connecting buyers and sellers from around the world. This increased accessibility has led to a surge in demand for rare coins, including wheat pennies. As more people become aware of these hidden treasures, competition continues to grow, pushing prices higher. It's also worth noting that emotional value plays a role in collecting. For some buyers, owning a rare coin is about more than investment. It's about passion, history, and the thrill of discovery. The idea that a simple penny could hold such immense value captures the imagination and keeps collectors constantly searching for the next big find. So what should you do if you come across a 1954 D Lincoln wheat penny? First, don't dismiss it based on appearance alone. Even if it looks worn or scratched, take a closer look. Check for unusual details in the lettering, the date, or the overall design. If something seems different, it might be worth having the coin evaluated by a professional. It's important to handle coins carefully as well. Improper cleaning or handling can actually reduce their value. Many beginners make the mistake of trying to polish old coins to make them look better, but this can damage the surface and remove important details that collectors look for. The story of the 1954D wheat penny reaching $130,000 serves as a powerful reminder that value is not always obvious. Sometimes, the most unassuming objects carry hidden worth that only reveals itself under closer could change your financial situation is what keeps the hobby alive and thriving. This next coin, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny that looks completely ordinary at first glance, faded color, worn edges, visible scratches from years of circulation, yet that same coin, under the right conditions, could shock the auction world with a value reaching up to $150,000. It sounds unbelievable, but this is exactly how rare coin discoveries continue to surprise collectors across the globe. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny comes from a very important time in history. It was minted during the final year of World War II, and many of these coins were made using recycled copper from wartime shell casings. That alone gives the coin historical significance, but history by itself doesn't make it valuable. In fact, more than 1 billion of these pennies were produced, making them extremely common in everyday circulation. Coin identifier +1. Most 1,945 pennies today, especially in circulated condition, are worth only a few cents. Some may sell for 5 to 20 cents, depending on wear and appearance. That means if you find one in your pocket change, chances are it's not rare at all. But here's where things take a dramatic turn. A tiny and unusual detail, something as small as a dot near the mint mark, can completely transform that same coin into a collector's dream. Lincoln wheat penny. This mysterious dot near the mint mark is believed to come from a minting error. During the production process, coins are struck using hardened metal dies. Over time, these dies can develop tiny defects, such as chips or raised marks. When that happens, the flaw transfers onto the coin, creating unusual features like dots, extra bumps, or distortions. These are known as die errors, and they are one of the biggest reasons coins become valuable. Now, imagine a 1945 wheat penny that not only has this rare dot near the mint mark, but has also been confirmed as a genuine mint error. Even if the coin is circulated, scratched, and graded in fine condition, collectors may still consider it extremely desirable. That's because rarity always outweighs condition when the error itself is scarce enough. In today's auction market, collectors are constantly searching for unique pieces that stand out. While typical 1945 error coins might sell for a few $100s depending on the type of error, truly rare and unusual variations can reach thousands. And in extreme cases, values can climb dramatically when collectors compete aggressively. Coin identifier. The idea of a $150,000 valuation doesn't come from normal pricing charts. It comes from exceptional cases, coins that combine rarity, strong collector demand, and a verified unique feature. Auction environments can be unpredictable. When 2 or more serious collectors want the same rare coin, the bidding can escalate far beyond expected estimates. That's how a humble penny can suddenly jump into 6-figure territory. Another important factor is authentication. In the coin world, nothing reaches high value without verification. Professional grading companies carefully inspect coins using magnification and advanced tools. They confirm whether the dot is a true mint error or simply damage caused by circulation. This distinction is critical because only genuine mint errors carry premium value. Condition still plays a role, even in circulated coins. A fine condition coin means that while it shows wear and scratches, the main design details, like the portrait and lettering, are still clearly visible. For rare error coins, this level of preservation is often enough to attract serious buyers. There's also a psychological aspect behind these high prices. The idea that such a tiny detail, something that most people would never notice, can turn a 1-cent coin into a fortune creates excitement. It encourages people to search through old jars, collections, and pocket change, hoping to discover something extraordinary. But it's important to stay realistic. The vast majority of 1,945 wheat pennies, even with marks or spots, are not worth thousands of dollars. Many marks that look like dots are actually caused by corrosion, dirt, or damage over time. That's why expert evaluation is always necessary before assuming a coin has high value. Still, the possibility is what keeps collectors engaged. Stories of rare coins selling for huge amounts continue to circulate, inspiring both beginners and experienced collectors. In fact, some rare Lincoln wheat pennies from other years have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars due to unique minting mistakes, proving that these small coins can carry enormous value under the right conditions. The sun. If you ever come across a 1,945 wheat penny, take a closer look at the mint mark area. Use good lighting and, if possible, a magnifying glass. Look for anything unusual, especially small raised dots or marks that appear to be part of the metal itself rather than damage. If something stands out, it may be worth having the coin professionally examined. Also, remember not to clean the coin. Cleaning can reduce its value significantly, even if you think you're improving its appearance. Collectors prefer coins in their natural state, with all their original surfaces intact. This next coin. The 1,940 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in large numbers in the United States, with millions of coins produced across different mints. These pennies were part of everyday life, used in simple transactions, passed from hand to hand without much thought. Because of this, most of them ended up in circulated condition, showing wear from years of use. A typical 1,940 penny today, especially one with scratches or heavy wear, might only be worth a few cents or slightly more to a collector. But not every coin is ordinary. Some carry hidden features that make them incredibly rare. One of the most fascinating variations collectors talk about is a 1,940 wheat penny with an unusual dot near the mint mark. This tiny detail, often overlooked, can turn a common coin into something extraordinary. During the minting process, coins are struck using metal dies that imprint the design onto blank pieces of metal. Over time, these dies can develop flaws such as chips, cracks, or raised marks. When that happens, the defect transfers onto the coin, creating unusual features like dots or extra bumps. These are known as mint errors, and they are highly sought after by collectors because they are not intentionally made and are usually very limited in number. Now imagine a 1,940 wheat penny that has one of these rare dot errors near the mint mark. Even if the coin is in circulated condition, with scratches and visible wear, the presence of this error can dramatically increase its value. Collectors are not just buying the coin, they are buying the rarity and the story behind it. In today's auction market, rare coins have become more popular than ever. Online platforms allow collectors from around the world to participate in bidding, which means competition can be intense. When a rare coin appears, especially one with a unique and verified mint error, the bidding can rise quickly. That's how certain coins, even those in less than perfect condition, can reach astonishing prices like $170,000. It's important to understand that this kind of value is not typical. The vast majority of 1,940 wheat pennies are not worth anywhere near that amount. Even with wear and scratches, most are considered common coins. The key factor here is the rare dot near the mint mark combined with authentication and strong collector demand. Authentication is one of the most critical steps in determining value. Professional grading services examine coins under magnification to confirm whether the dot is a genuine mint error or simply damage caused by circulation, corrosion, or environmental factors. This distinction makes all the difference. A real mint error can attract serious buyers, while a damaged coin usually has little additional value. Condition still matters, even in rare coins. A circulated coin described as being in good condition means it has noticeable wear but still retains its main design features. Scratches are visible, and the surface may not be smooth, but the coin is still identifiable and complete. For a rare error coin, this level of condition can still be acceptable to collectors, especially if very few examples exist. Another reason these coins reach such high values is the emotional and psychological appeal. The idea that a simple penny, something most people overlook, could be worth a fortune creates excitement. It inspires collectors and even beginners to search through their coins, hoping to find a hidden treasure. There's also a strong sense of history attached to these coins. A 1,940 penny has been around for decades, possibly passing through countless hands and witnessing different moments in time. Every scratch and mark tells part of its journey. When you combine that history with a rare minting error, the coin becomes more than just currency. It becomes a unique artifact. However, it's important to stay realistic and careful. Not every dot or mark near a mint mark is valuable. Many coins develop spots, bumps, or damage over time that can look similar to mint errors. That's why expert evaluation is essential before making any assumptions about value. If you happen to come across a 1,940 wheat penny, take a closer look at the mint mark area. Use good lighting and, if possible, a magnifying glass. Look for any unusual raised dots that appear to be part of the metal rather than damage. If something seems different, it may be worth getting the coin checked by a professional. Also, avoid cleaning the coin. This is one of the most common mistakes people make. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce the coin's value, even if it looks better afterward. Collectors prefer coins in their natural, original condition. This next coin, the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny, is not rare by itself. In fact, millions of these coins were minted in the United States, including versions from Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of them were used in everyday transactions, which is why many examples today are found in circulated condition. A typical 1951 penny with visible wear and scratches is usually worth only a small amount, sometimes just a few cents or slightly more to collectors. But here's where things take a surprising turn. Some of these coins have a very unusual feature, a small dot near the mint mark. At first glance, it might look like a tiny flaw or even damage, something most people would ignore. But in certain cases, this dot is actually the result of a rare minting error, and that's what makes the coin incredibly valuable. During the minting process, coins are created using metal dies that stamp the design onto blank pieces of metal. Over time, these dies can develop small imperfections, such as chips or raised marks. When that happens, those imperfections get transferred onto the coin. A tiny raised dot near the mint mark is often the result of such a die chip error. These errors are not planned, and because they occur randomly, they are usually very limited in number. Now imagine a 1951 wheat penny with this rare dot feature confirmed as a genuine mint error. Even if the coin is in circulated condition, with scratches and signs of wear, collectors may still consider it extremely valuable. That's because rarity plays a bigger role than condition when it comes to unique error coins. In today's auction market, collectors from around the world compete for rare and unusual coins. Online platforms have made it easier for buyers to participate in auctions, increasing competition and driving prices higher. When a coin with a rare and verified feature appears, especially one that is difficult to find, the bidding can quickly rise. This is how a simple penny can reach astonishing values like $160,000. It's important to understand that this kind of price is not typical for all 1951 wheat pennies. The vast majority are still very common and do not carry significant value. What makes the difference is the presence of the rare dot near the mint mark, along with proper authentication and strong collector demand. Authentication is one of the most important steps in determining a coin's value. Professional grading services examine coins carefully using magnification and specialized tools. They confirm whether the dot is a true mint error or simply the result of damage, corrosion, or dirt. Only genuine mint errors can command high prices in the market. Condition still matters even for rare coins. A coin described as being in fine condition means it has been circulated and shows visible wear, including scratches, but the main design details are still clear. For a rare error coin, this level of condition is often acceptable, especially if very few examples are known to exist. There's also a strong psychological appeal behind these high values. The idea that something so small and overlooked can be worth a fortune captures people's imagination. It encourages collectors and even beginners to check their coins more carefully, hoping to discover a hidden treasure. Another reason these coins attract attention is their connection to history. A 1951 penny has been around for decades, passing through countless hands in everyday transactions. Every scratch and mark tells part of its story. When that history is combined with a rare minting error, the coin becomes more than just currency. It becomes a unique piece of the past. However, it's important to stay realistic. Not every dot or mark near a mint mark is valuable. Many coins develop spots or bumps over time that can look similar to mint errors but are actually just damage. This is why expert evaluation is essential before assuming a coin is worth a large amount of money. If you happen to find a 1951 wheat penny, take a closer look at the area around the mint mark. Use good lighting and, if possible, a magnifying glass. Look for a small raised dot that appears to be part of the metal rather than something sitting on the surface. If you notice anything unusual, it might be worth having the coin professionally examined. It's also very important not to clean the coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce its value significantly, even if it looks better afterward. Collectors prefer coins in their original condition, with all their natural wear and aging intact. The story of a 1951 Lincoln wheat penny reaching a value of $160,000 shows just how exciting and unpredictable coin collecting can be. It proves that even a scratched, circulated coin can become incredibly valuable if it has the right combination of rarity and unique features. This last coin. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny was minted just after World War II, a time when the United States was transitioning back to normal production. The D mint mark indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major coin-producing facilities. Millions of these pennies were created, and most of them entered everyday circulation. Because of this, the majority of 1946 D wheat pennies you might find today are quite common and typically worth only a small premium over face value. But not every coin follows the same story. Some 1946 D pennies have rare characteristics that set them apart from the rest. These differences often come from minting errors or unusual die conditions that occurred during production. When a coin is struck with a flawed die, it can create unique features such as doubled letters, off-center designs, or small raised marks that were never meant to be there. Now consider a 1946 D wheat penny that carries one of these rare and verified features. Even if the coin is circulated, with visible scratches and signs of wear, collectors may still consider it extremely valuable. That's because rarity plays a much bigger role than condition when the feature itself is scarce enough. In today's global auction market, rare coins attract attention from collectors all over the world. Online bidding platforms have increased competition, allowing buyers to participate regardless of location. When a rare coin appears, especially one with a confirmed unique characteristic, the bidding can quickly become intense. This is how prices can climb to extraordinary levels, sometimes reaching figures like $180,000 for a single penny. It's important to understand that this kind of value is not typical for all 1946 D wheat pennies. Most of them, even in decent condition, remain relatively affordable. The difference comes down to the presence of something truly rare, combined with proper authentication and strong demand from collectors. Authentication is one of the most critical parts of determining a coin's value. Professional grading services examine coins under magnification to confirm their authenticity and to identify any mint errors or unusual features. They also assign a condition grade, which helps buyers understand the level of wear and preservation. For a coin to reach a high auction value, it must be verified as genuine and unaltered. Even though the coin is described as being in fine condition with scratches, this does not eliminate its potential value. In coin collecting terms, fine condition means the coin has been circulated and shows wear, but the main design elements are still clearly visible. For rare coins, especially those with unique characteristics, this level of condition can still be very appealing. There is also a strong emotional and psychological element involved in coin collecting. The idea that a simple penny, something most people ignore, can be worth a fortune captures the imagination. It encourages people to check their coins more carefully, hoping to discover something rare and valuable. Another factor that adds to the appeal is the historical significance of the coin. A 1946 penny represents a specific moment in time, just after a major global event. It may have passed through countless hands, been used in everyday purchases, and traveled across different places over decades. Every scratch and mark tells part of that journey. When a rare feature is added to that history, the coin becomes even more special. However, it's important to remain cautious and realistic. Not every unusual mark or detail makes a coin valuable. Many coins develop scratches, spots, or damage that can look like mint errors but are actually the result of wear over time. This is why professional evaluation is essential before assuming a coin is worth a large amount of money. If you happen to come across a 1946 D Lincoln wheat penny, take a closer look at it. Use good lighting and, if possible, a magnifying glass. Pay attention to the details in the design, the lettering, and the mint mark area. Look for anything unusual that stands out from a normal coin. If something seems different, it may be worth having it examined by a professional. It's also very important not to clean the coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. Even if a coin looks dirty or dull, collectors prefer it in its original condition. The natural wear and aging are part of what makes it authentic. The story of a 1946 D Lincoln wheat penny reaching a value of $180,000 shows just how unpredictable and exciting the world of coin collecting can be. It proves that even a scratched, circulated coin can become incredibly valuable if it has the right combination of rarity, authenticity, and demand.